So let us just straight off dive into our discussion with the first topic is about a content marketing framework. So I'll start with Apurva. If she could share with the marketing students out there if there is a general framework that marketers follow in making their content marketing strategy.
So I don't know what the generalized norm is, but I and the people in my circle, the fellow content marketers, we follow a 5 step framework that helps us not only just write the content, but also make sure it is reaching out to the right audience. So the 5 steps include: first step is very crucial, that is the purpose and the goal, because unless and until we don't know why we are creating the content and what we want to achieve from the content, there is no point in proceeding further. So the first step is a must, and it should be very clear what you want to do, what is your goal. Next is the audience. If we are writing something, we are expecting somebody to read it. So who is that somebody? We always have to keep it in mind, and then we have to work with our content. Next is story. That actually it resonates well with the engagement part. That be it an image, be it an infographic, or it can be a video series. How well are you able to bring out a point which your audience can relate to? Are you using storytelling? Are you using some personal anecdotes? So, do you have that element which will help other readers to connect and then share your content with their network? Next is the process. How do you want to structure the content? And what are the different elements you need to put into it so that you'll have the final version ready and crisp? Next is, of course, the KPI measurement. If you're putting out your content on social media, are you getting your target likes? You're having an increase in followers? Are you getting comments? Are you getting saves? Are people sharing it on the stories? So measurement is a very crucial part that often people forget, and it should not be skipped. That is something that I would always remind people. These 5 steps are what basically our content work process depends on. And I would say this is the skeletal framework which, as per the industry you can customize, or as per your need you can customize, and it's not limited to a particular industry. It can be used by a person, it can be used by bloggers, photographers, anybody. So that is the framework that I follow.
That's very well put. Aishwarya, would you like to also share any kind of a general framework that you follow for content marketing?
Yeah, first of all, thanks Apurva. You gave the necessary things that every content marketer should follow. I also follow a 5 step thing where first I used to document my 5 goals, like who am I targeting, what my goals are. I'll list 3 to 5 goals maximum. Then my step 2 will be determining my one thing. For example, let's take KFC. If they want to promote a burger, they'll not be bringing every single product in their thing in that advertisement or in the content. So determine your one thing and start working on that. So that is my second process. The third one will be measure your metrics. Like what Apurva said, you will have to look into it. Like what is the consumption metrics, what is the sharing metrics, lead generation or sales, what has happened. I will always look into it and I will learn. So that is something that I always do. And you should know who your target audiences are and what they love, what will reach them. That is something that you will have to do a research on, and you will have to provide a solution for them. You can't just like, because there are many marketing people out there, they are giving every day new advertisements. You will have to stand out from them. So that is something that I always do. As a rule of thumb, good content should be interesting no matter what it is. It can be an audio, or it can be a visual, or a blog or article, anything it can be. As a rule of thumb, it should be interesting, challenging and entertaining for the people who is seeing. So that is what is I follow.
That's right. In content marketing, when now we are referring to say it's a part of your inbound marketing process. So I would like to ask Apurva, have you worked on anything wherein you are following a certain process, like what the customer, like if you're selling a car, then what kind of searches are happening? What is that particular target audience searching for? Because in a digital world, it's more about a person actually going out there and putting an interest there, and we are identifying and reaching out to it. So, is there any kind of a way that you pattern that you see that okay, you'll be following searching this or seeing this kind of content, and then we can put out our content out there.
Absolutely. No, before jumping down to the work, it is absolutely crucial that I do my own research. I generally call it keyword research because it not only gives me the idea of the keywords that I am targeting, I will be using, but also gives me an idea, are actually people looking for something like this? Is it worth it that I'll be putting my effort into something like this? So I'll just walk you through the process that I do regularly. The first thing that I do is I open Google and I always pick two phrases to start with. Like it can be two words. For example, I want to know about, let's say, food festival near me. So by default, Google has stored my location. So in by default, it will show me my nearby information. So when I type food festival into my search, I would you'll see the autocomplete list. So that gives me a clear idea. Okay, apart from food festival, this is also something people are looking for. So this can also be a potential content area for me. Then after the search, there is related search or people also ask section. So based on what I need, I can focus primarily on the particular part and then work ahead on that. Another thing that a lot of people are not using nowadays, but it has been proved to be very helpful, is Google Trends. So if you see a Google Trends chart, you'll see whether the demand for a certain kind of query is increasing or is it decreasing day by day, or has it been the demand has been stable, or what any kind of information you want, you can get the trend related information, and that definitely gives me an idea. Okay, people are looking for these particular things. Now as marketeers and as I am an engineer, so we are a tad lazy. So doing so many processes can be cumbersome, and we often skip out a lot of these processes. So there are tools like also ask.com, answer the public, where you type your query and they'll show you a very elaborate mind map on what exactly people are searching for. You just pick one question and then you work throughout that. So there is
So, Apurva,
something for,
when
yeah,
you're referring to the Google Trends,
yeah.
apart from keywords such as like if person is searching for a specific thing and he's typing it in, other
Yeah.
than that, is there any other kind of like in terms of the content consumption or something that it's showing you a trend apart from just searches of like in the keyword and that kind of thing?
Apart from that, it is actually a little bit difficult to find out because you cannot search the entire title. For example, I want to buy a laptop. I will. My first instinct as person living in the digital era will be going to Google. I know Amazon can give me results. I know Flipkart will give me results, but instead I'll go to Google. So that is why keyword research would be the way to go.
Apurva, your there is a voice was not coming.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, you might have to just repeat the last 10
Okay.
seconds.
So what I was saying is that why I go by the keyword research method and not anything else, because it gives me insights, the numbers based on which I can make a better decision. Rather than going by hearsay, I would actually go for insights. So keyword research might be the way. Like I
Google
call it.
Trends even considers YouTube searches
Yeah, yeah,
and
all of that,
yeah.
all of that.
Yes, then
Any
that's a
kind of
major
search.
data. Yeah.
Yeah. Like even for social media, there is hashtag. A lot of people don't know the primary use of hashtags, but hashtags are the underdogs of the social media world. They are basically the keywords. So you can see hashtags. If you search for the hashtags, you'll see different type of content. You can see what is performing good, what is not, how many posts that hashtag is getting per hour, and should you actually work on that hashtag? Should you use that hashtag in your post or not? So these are different things based on what platform, what goal you have, what audience you're targeting. Based on that, your research methodology will be specified. But you have to go to Google at any cost.
That's right. Aishwarya, any kind of, if you could share any kind of example, you don't have to, or you've done a client work, you don't have to name a client, but like way which you use this framework so that it's a little bit easy for grasping for the marketing student?
Yeah, okay. So, as I've already said, I also handle social media. Like, I give them strategies for my clients. Once I got a client from Canada, he wanted to increase his LinkedIn, he wanted to leverage his LinkedIn profile, and he wanted to concentrate on the finance thing. He wanted every articles to be about finance. He want every post he makes to be around finance. He wants his Instagram to be optimized. Every single thing should be around finance because his brand was something related to that. So the first thing that he asked me was, I want to do this. I clearly don't know how to do it. Should I just post anything and everything, or should I just post only that thing? If I'm concentrating on only posting finance, not every people are interested. I just want to have a global reach. Just help me. Give me a strategy how to do that. Just help me lead with it. So the first thing that I did was, as she said, we always go to Google. Google is like a dictionary. We have every single thing, and I use Quora extensively. You have every resources and every questions. If people have a question in that mind, they will go ahead and put it in Quora. Like Quora, Reddit, these groups have all the questions that people are asking, and you also sometimes find the answers there. So first thing I did was, what I asked him what his intentions was, and I wrote a set of things. I asked him what his goals were. Like he wanted to enhance his engagement. He wanted to reach a target group of people around here and there. So I did that thing, and then I went ahead to Quora. I look into things that people were asking questions for. I created posts that gave them the answers. That did really like I posted the first post was in LinkedIn, and I gave him the post was itself a solution to many questions that people were asking about that thing, and it had a greater reach. And he was like astonished. He was asking me like, Aishwarya, how did you do that? And I was explaining him, just like before writing anything or anything, just before writing even a single thing, just go ahead and do your research. Research is what makes the content very interesting. Like anyone can write a content. Like people say, my small kid writes a content. In my 12th standard or 10th standard, I wrote a English essay. That is what you're doing? No, we are not doing that. We are doing the research. We will know like which target audience to concentrate, which will work and which will not. So that is something that we will have to consider. And of course, keywords play a lot of role. Like when it comes to Instagram, if you want to search marketing strategies, just type in marketing strategies, follow the keywords, and you can see like many people are giving you solutions to the answer, like questions that you're asking. When it comes to even to LinkedIn, you must have those content. Like for example, if I'm a content writer, I should mention in my profile that I'm a content writer. That is a keyword that is going to discover me. So keyword is also very important, and research is the foremost important thing when it comes to content marketing.
Yeah.
That's right. Apurva, what do you think about topical, like knowing what is something topical in the news or something, and then attaching it to your content? Like, have you ever had a case of doing that? Because I am aware many marketers, and it's out there also in the media, are using that kind of thing.
Actually, those type of processes are done when we want to boost in traffic to our website. And I have done something similar. Like the previous industry I was working extensively was an edtech company, and they deal with schools. Like they have their own school chains, and they have some edtech softwares to deal with. So the most debated topic around November to January was the CBSE exams. Like there was nothing clear. The government was not certain what to do, and then in that was intended for the Karnataka government, and they released some information saying that we are thinking to do CBSE exam twice a year. Like it will be on April and December, if I'm not wrong. That is something they had released. So as a content writer and marketer, I crafted a blog on, like, it contains some information on how to prepare for CBSE exams, what are the topic you can focus, some here there questions that we saw, we were getting a lot of requests. Then towards the conclusion, a little bit towards the introduction part, we mentioned about this CBSE exam debacle thanks to the pandemic, and it was posted on various blog sites, the PR sites we had partnered up and all that. We got a close to 35% increase in traffic after that blog post went, and sound backlinks we received, we got a lot of queries and all. So yes, if you are up to date with the news, which you should be when you're into marketing world, And if you can leverage that information into your content, honestly, there is nothing like it. It will give you that instantaneous boost which you can play off. You can see those numbers and use those numbers for your further marketing activities. And you can see the best example of these news and the topic being utilized for marketing are memes. Like
Yeah.
you see Zomato ads that hamari pawri chal rahi hai. That is
Mm.
viral till date. That is being used for marketing for so many different things.
Mm.
So you can use this same idea for so many things.
Mm.
Just that you need to be up to date. And if you don't understand that meme, and you don't understand that meme, and you are like, okay, it might be something, okay, I'll tap on the next one. Don't do that, because you're just
Mm.
losing out a great opportunity. And using of memes and the news in a creative way shows how innovative you are and how risk taking you are.
That's right. What is topical, tying in your content very smartly, that is what a intelligent marketer can do. And people working in marketing and media, they are doing it all the time so that you are connected to that. So if any news is there, the hashtags are there, you can get discovered through that. So you can
Yes,
then obviously that gives
exactly.
that boost to your brand's content.
Yeah.
Great. So awesome.